Welcome to Student Connections, where students connect with their community.
Welcome to Student Connections, a show where our students connect with their community. Today, we will be meeting the Boy Scout leader of Marysville's Troop 216. We'll also meet a talented young dancer that will be starring in this weekend's Nutcracker ballet at McMorran Arena. And if you prefer something a little bit more daring, we'll tell you about the polar bear plunge at Lakeside Beach. Now, let's meet Scoutmaster Mark Eschenberg as he tells us about our local Boy Scout troop.
Hello and welcome to Student Connections here on M6, your hometown station. I'm your host, Kara Biskarner, and joining me today is Mark Eschenberg with the Boy Scout Troop 216. Hello.
Hello.
How did Troop 216 first begin?
Well, Troop 216 started back in 1928, so next year we'll be celebrating our 85th anniversary.
Wow.
When you consider that Scouting is 102 years old right now, it's got a very long history to it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Scouting movements back in that era were established, historically, right between World War I and World War II. So the importance of duty to God and country and to others, and then finally to oneself were major building blocks for Boy Scouting and also a part of Troop 216. We're founded by, or not founded, but chartered actually by the Lions Club here in Marysville. And they provide us a fair amount of support financially, and also provide us with service opportunities in the community.
That's good to have like another group there to help you out.
Absolutely, and you've got a lot of members of the Lions Club that are leaders in the community and help provide role models as necessary for not only adult leaders in the troop, but the youth as well. So.
Exactly. How many Scouts are currently registered?
As of our last rechartering, we were at 58 Scouts, which is it's a pretty good number when you consider some of the other troops in the area. Some may only have 10 or 12, and then there are others that are slightly larger, but traditionally Troop 216 has been one of the larger groups in the St. Clair and Sanilac County area.
How is the troop ran?
Well, the philosophy of Troop 216 is boy run, boy done. And essentially what that means is that the Scout leaders, the youth leaders of the troop, are responsible for conducting the meetings. They're responsible for their own election of their ranks of leadership. And also planning the schedule for the year as far as camp outings and determining what merit badges they'd like to work on throughout the year, and as well as service projects. So, it's boy run, boy done.
That's a good philosophy to go by.
Absolutely.
How much popcorn was raised this year?
Well, this past year we just finished up the sale, and we sold, I believe the final number was $5,800 this year.
Wow.
And the proceeds from the Scouting popcorn sales, about 75% of that goes directly back into Scouting, and then the remaining 25% goes back to the supplier or manufacturer of the corn. The Scouts in the troop, in our troop, get 37% of their sales for the year directly into what we call their troop credit or Scout credit account that they can use for purchasing gear, attending camp outings and things like that. And then the balance of that 75% would go to the council.
Is the popcorn sale like your biggest fundraiser of the year?
Traditionally, for Troop 216 anyway, the popcorn sale is the sole one and only fundraiser that we do.
What kind of activities do you guys do?
Well, we do quite a few activities. Each Tuesday night, whenever school is in session, we have a troop meeting. At the troop meetings, we work on merit badges, which are opportunities for the Scouts to learn Scouting skills, whether it be outdoor survival type things or even life skills and leadership development type items. And then Then we have camp outings, which are one per month, or service outings. Even though you may think of January and February as being months you don't want to be outside, the Scouts of Troop 216 are out doing something for a weekend each month. So.
Yeah, I know my dad, when he was in Boy Scouts, he talks about doing his polar bear plunge and doing stuff like that.
Yes.
What exactly do you guys do at like your camp outings?
Well, kind of break outings in a couple different categories. One would be council events or council weekends. Quite often those are up in Jetto at the Silver Trail Scout Reservation. And we have what we call a fall camporee, a spring camporee. At those items or events, we actually, sometimes there's competitions between troops. And other times there's merit badge workshops. You have a Klondike, which traditionally is held in February in the winter months. And the Scouts will build sleds out of branches, twigs, those types of things. And the Scouts actually become the mushers for the or the dogs for those Klondike sleds. And those typically a lot of competition those weekends. Then we have our troop outings, which range anywhere from ski trips to ice fishing. We have an orienteering weekend where the adult leaders will go out and place objectives or targets throughout the woods and mark them out on a map. And then the Scouts will break up into patrols, and those patrols will need to then go out and locate each one of those objectives throughout the course. And whoever completes the course in the shortest amount of time is the winner. And we have a plaque that we have with the patrol name on it for that.
That's pretty cool, doing something like that.
Yeah. Some other things we also do, summer months, there's summer camp, which is held at one of the larger Scout camps in the state. There's a few up in the Clare area and other parts north. And those last for 1 week, and the boys will participate in a lot of merit badges those weeks, which will help them progress in their rank advancements. And there's also a lot of competition and things like that during those summer camp weeks. Other opportunities the Scouts have include Mackinac Service Troop, which you mentioned that you participate in as a Girl Scout as well. And then we have a high adventure trip that we do each summer. Generally it involves backpacking or canoeing, those types of things.
Is there anything that is traditionally done in Scouts?
Well, a lot of the things we just spoke about are a lot of tradition for sure, and outdoor adventure is a strong part of that. And we want to make sure that the Scouts are having a lot of fun, having an appreciation for nature, and at the same time we want them to also develop their own leadership skills. And I was just speaking with a Scout actually last night who was completing his Eagle Scout project, and I asked him what were some of your biggest challenges in completing that Eagle project, and he goes, directing and leading my peers. It's kind of strange to be buddies on a day-to-day basis, and then suddenly on the weekend you're off at camp and you have to make sure that food's getting cooked. You need to make sure that dishes are getting done, that the tents are being properly taken care of, all those types of things. So leadership development's also a large portion of the Scouting tradition.
Have you guys had a lot of Scouts complete their Eagle Award?
Yes. Over the most recent years, I'd say Troop 216 is proud to say that we have 2 to 3 Eagles every year.
That's awesome.
And when you look at Scouting overall, they say that about 1 in every 100 boys that join Scouting ultimately would end up being an Eagle Scout.
That's awesome.
Yes.
How many scouts, percentage-wise, stay in the whole way through?
Well, you can look at staying in the whole way through in a couple different ways. One would be just by age or through their time in school. Once you're 18, you're no longer a scout. You have an opportunity to become a scout leader, an adult leader at that point. But you have the 7 ranks of scouting, which are scout, tenderfoot, second class, first class, star scout, life scout, and then ultimately the Eagle Scout. And as I said, about 1 in 100 scouts become an Eagle nationally. I'd say Troop 216 is in the 3 to 4% range as far as reaching that retention. And if a number of scouts that start and stay through their 18 or through receiving their Eagle for Troop 216, it's about 80%.
What is the age range for each rank?
Well, unlike Cub Scouts, which is a grade-based portion of Boy Scouting, which is from 1st through 5th grade, once you cross over into Boy Scouts, you have essentially from the point at which you're a 6th grader through a senior or turning 18. And the rank is not driven by age or grade. It's based upon accomplishment and achievements.
What kind of things do each rank do?
The younger scouts work on outdoor skill development, safety type items, and just learning the foundation of scouting. As a scout becomes older, they start to work on leadership skill development and purpose in the community and in service. So.
What are the tougher merit badges to earn for a Boy Scout?
Well, I think the scouts would tell you that the tougher merit badges to earn are personal management, which revolves around financial responsibility.
Yep.
They're required for 90 days to track their finances, income, spending, saving, those types of things. And I'd say the next most difficult would probably be physical fitness because they're required to establish a workout regimen and follow it again for several months. And it takes a lot of discipline, not only to work out and to follow your program, but also to make sure that you're documenting it. And so I'd say those are probably 2 of the more challenging merit badges for the Scouts.
I know for Girl Scouts I'd agree, like anything with finances and the personal fitness ones are 2 of the toughest ones to earn for us too.
And they're not always that fun either, are they?
No. What does becoming an Eagle Scout mean?
Well, an Eagle Scout means that you have reached the pinnacle of Boy Scouting. You have become you've reached the highest rank that you're capable of achieving in Boy Scouts. It means that you've earned 21 merit badges, 12 of them which are specific and required for every scout, and then 10 of them are electives. Typically a Boy Scout will earn well beyond those 21, just based upon what's offered through their scouting tenure. But there's always those 12 core merit badges that are required. And it also means that they've completed a rather substantial service project somewhere in the community. Some of those projects rank anywhere from restoring portions of a cemetery, or maybe building a shed at your church, or refurbishing a Sunday school room, or planting trees along a nature trail. Those types of things.
I know it's definitely similar for my Gold Award. We have to do, they call it a take action project, and so that's what we have to do, is we have to do like the big service project, and there's a lot of prerequisites and everything. So how many scouts stay once they become an Eagle Scout?
Well, we talked about there being maybe 3 to 4% of Troop 216 scouts achieving Eagle.
Yeah.
And I would say that we probably see half of those scouts continue on within some level of activity in the troop until they reach age 18. And sometimes it literally gets down to their birth date before they complete all their requirements. But that's pretty normal through with troops throughout the nation. And after they achieve that Eagle rank, and they've had a good amount of service hours in the troop and in leadership positions, sometimes they'll elect to still be active in scouting, but participate in things like the Order of the Arrow, which is essentially the National Honor Society of Boy Scouting.
I know it's really hard to keep boys in scouting up through high school. How do you guys do that?
Well, we need to provide a lot of opportunities and variety for them. One, we need to make sure that they're having fun and that they're getting something out of it. And again, the best way for that to happen is to allow them to be in charge.
Yeah.
You know, the role of the adult leaders is to, one, make sure that the program is safe for everyone that's participating, and that we are standing on the foundation and values of scouting.
I know just that feeling of having leadership, that's really a great feeling to have. If parents want more information about Boy Scouting, what should they do?
Well, best way to learn more about Boy Scouting, one would be to visit the national website, which is scouting.org. The second opportunity to learn more about Troop 216 and what we do would be to go to our troop website, which is MarysvilleTroop216.com.
Are there any upcoming events that parents should know about?
Well, first couple of weekends in December, we have a service project that we do annually with the Salvation Army, and that involves their annual food collection. First Saturday of the month, we distribute bags to all the doors in Marysville. And then the following weekend, the scouts will all go back through their routes, knock on each door, and look for those food donations. And traditionally, the community of Marysville has been extremely supportive of the Salvation Army and the food drive, to where nearly half of the food raised or donated in St. Clair County comes out of the city of Marysville. So those would be the first two major items I would highlight for Scouts.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
I wish you guys luck in all your future endeavors. Joining us again on Student Connections here on M6, your hometown station.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Hey, you ready to go?
Almost, but I can't get Dana off the couch. She's too busy playing her video games. Now with new technology, it's harder to get kids out of the house.
Kids these days.
There are many other ways to be active.
Like sports.
Walking.
And weightlifting.
Riding a dirt bike.
Play tag.
Yeah, even tag. I'll go and get her out now.
Dana, will you please go outside and play with us?
No.
Please?
No.
Get off your butt, you lazy bum!
For more ways to get active, go to www.letsmove.gov/getactive.
Well, we hope you will be able to support the Scout Food Drive over the next few weeks. Now we'll turn our attentions to the classic ballet, The Nutcracker. Hannah Buggy will be performing this week's show at McMorran Theater. She tells Kara Bisgarner more.
Hello and welcome to Student Connections here on M6, your hometown station. Joining me today is Hannah Buggy with the Port Huron Nutcracker. Hi Hannah.
Hi Kara.
How did you get involved with the Nutcracker?
Well, when I was really little, my sister would do the Nutcracker every year, and I always looked up to my sister and kind of wanted to be just like her. So as soon as I was old enough, I auditioned to be in the production.
That's really nice that it's like a family tradition. Mm-hmm. What preparation is needed?
Well, all of us dancers have to take classes on our own time to be ready, and then we get together every Sunday for about 4 months before the performance, and we rehearse for anywhere to 2 to 6 hours every Sunday, so a lot of rehearsal time.
You must make a lot of good friends that way.
Oh yeah.
What role are you playing?
This year I'm playing Sugar Plum and Snow Queen.
So like what do those roles like have? Like what kind of dances do you do?
For Snow Queen, I dance with my partner Dan, so there are some cool lifts and stuff, and then I dance with a group of other dancers, and then for Sugar Plum I just dance with my partner. So
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite part of performing in the Nutcracker?
My favorite part is probably just the stage time and all the different people that I get to perform with, because in the dance world there's a lot of competition, so people
Mm-hmm.
can be pretty nasty, but at the Nutcracker it's just like we're one big family and we're all just there because we love to dance, so I really like being around the people.
That's really nice that it's not really like a lot of cliques.
Yeah,
and
cutthroat.
Yeah. What is the atmosphere like backstage?
It's pretty chaotic, but it's organized chaos, because everybody has a place that they're supposed to be, and everybody has something that they're supposed to do, so everyone kind of sticks to that. But there are a lot of people backstage,
Mm-hmm.
but it stays pretty calm.
How many years have you been a part of this program?
Oh man, I joined the Nutcracker when I was 7, so about 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So have you been dancing a long time?
Mm-hmm. I started dancing when I was 4. Once again, because I saw my sister dance and I wanted to be just like her. So
I know I was the same way with my sister, except
Mm-hmm.
she's more of a tap dancer and I'm more of ballet.
Yeah.
Who is the instructor of the program this year?
It's Kathy Tolan and Carol Cranberg. Kathy Tolan danced in the Nutcracker when she was younger, so it's kind of cool that she stuck with it, because she
Mm-hmm.
gets what it's like and gets what it's there for and what the girls need. So
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to have her in charge.
It's really cool that she stuck with the program for this long.
Yeah, she's like Mama Nutcracker.
How is the turnout of people each year?
It's pretty good, considering it's ballet and not a lot of people not a lot of people understand it or want to go see it. It's a pretty good turnout.
Mm-hmm. Will you be returning to the Nutcracker in the future?
I hope so. After high school, they usually don't encourage us to come back because they want us to go out and dance with a bigger
Mm-hmm.
company, but they sometimes allow us to come back as like special guests and everything. So
So are you planning on doing dance after high school?
as of right now, yes, that's what I'm hoping for.
Where and when is the Nutcracker this year?
The Nutcracker is at the McMorran Theater, and it is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So for people who don't know, what's the story of the Nutcracker?
The Nutcracker storyline, there's a little girl named Clara, and her family has a Christmas party, and her Uncle Drosselmeyer comes and gives her a toy Nutcracker. And then the party ends, and she's fallen in love with her toy Nutcracker, and it was just a great day, and she falls asleep, and she dreams that her toy Nutcracker comes to life, and is pretty much, he's her Prince Charming,
Mm-hmm.
and she falls in love with her Nutcracker, who in the end actually turns into a prince. And then she wakes up in the morning and realizes that it was all just a dream. And
What is one thing you would want the viewers to know?
that when the audience claps and we need as much encouragement as possible because we put a lot of hard work into it, and we're very hard on ourselves on stage because we want everything to be perfect and it to be enjoyable. So,
Well, Hannah, thanks for coming.
thank you for having me.
Good luck to you and all the dancers in the Nutcracker. I'm Kara Biskarner for Student Connections here on M6, your hometown station.
Don't get caught with these bad texting habits. With the help of technology, students are now able to access the internet on their phones during class to help them with their schoolwork. Too many kids are getting caught for abusing the privileges that teachers are now giving them. Don't get out your phone in school unless the teacher gives you the go, and be sure it's school appropriate. To review the school handbook, go to www.marysvilleschools.us.
Some dreams are universal. Dreams that inspire us. Multiple sclerosis is a devastating disease that changes lives forever. The National MS Society does more for people with MS than any organization in the world. But we can't do it alone. To get involved, visit us online at nationalmssociety.org or call 1-800-FIGHT-MS. This is why we're here. Because nobody dreams of having multiple sclerosis.
The Nutcracker is a family classic, and we thank all the dancers for starting our holiday season with a favorite. If you're interested in a little more physical challenge this weekend, you might want to get involved with the annual Polar Bear Plunge. Mrs. Shelley Peashot from the Marysville Middle School tells Angelica Nielsen-Sprague about the daring adventure.
Hi, and welcome to Student Connections on M6, your hometown station. I'm Angelica Nielsen, and with us here today we have Mrs. Peashot to talk to us more about the Polar Bear Plunge. So, Mrs. Peashot, what is the Polar Bear Plunge?
A Polar Bear Plunge is a fundraising event, and the one in Port Huron, you run into Lake Huron from Lakeside Beach, and you just run into the freezing cold water, and then you quickly run back out again. That is it.
Oh, that's really cool. Do you know how the idea of the Polar Bear Plunge came about?
I know a little bit about it because a friend of mine who is now taking a job out of state was instrumental in starting it. I know that in other parts of the country, a Polar Bear Plunge is where they literally go to like an inland lake and they cut a circle through the ice and they put a ladder down there and people literally have to jump into the hole of the freezing water and then climb up the ladder. Right? So this friend of mine thought that was a bit extreme. Besides, Lake Huron doesn't freeze over. So he came up with this idea of just running in as opposed to jumping down. And you can, run in as far as you want. So I don't know. I think it's been around 10 or 11 years now.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting. How did Marysville get involved?
Well, I'm also a volunteer with the March of Dimes. And the March of Dimes wanted to have a team to participate because there's a financial incentive. You raise money, and then the organization that sponsors it gives your group back a percentage of the money you raised to use for your organization. So the March of Dimes got together a team, and the money, of course, that we got back went to that team. So since I'm a volunteer with the March of Dimes, I got talked into doing it, and a little something wild and crazy, it doesn't bother me a little bit. So it was so much fun. I thought, oh my gosh, I have got to get a team started at the middle school.
Oh, that's really awesome. That's really neat. Actually, I didn't even know that, so that's really cool. Who sponsors it exactly?
The Kiwanis Club of Port Huron. There's a group called Kiwanis International. And I think Port Huron, I'm not sure, has one or two branches of that. And they put this on, and what they raise money for is to support children's services in St. Clair County, like the St. Clair County Child Neglect Council and things like that. But what they do at the plunge, which is so amazing, is that if your group raises $1,000 or more, they give you back 60%.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's substantial. If you raise less than $1,000, you still get back 50%.
Okay.
So your group
really
gets
cool.
back a chunk, and then the Kiwanis gets the rest. So it's a win-win situation.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When and where is it held?
It's always held the first Saturday in December, which this year happens to be this coming Saturday, December 1st. It is at Lakeside Beach. It happens at high noon. The event is at high noon. You want to get there before noon for registration. Registration starts at 11. I usually like to get there about 11:15. I tell our team members to get there about 11:30. They have a couple bonfires on the beach. There's a DJ. The Salvation Army's there giving out hot chocolate and coffee. There's a costume contest. A lot of the plungers dress in costume. And so they have a costume contest beforehand, and then there's all sorts of pictures. Everybody's having their team pictures taken and all that sort of stuff. And the plunge, you know, there's a big countdown. Everybody's lined up along the water, and the big countdown, and everybody goes running in at noon, and literally by 12:05, it is over. So everybody runs in and runs out and runs to their car, and it's done. So you need to get there before the event in order to really enjoy all the festivities.
Okay, all right. I hear that the Mod Squad participates in the Polar Bear Plunge every year. Why?
Well, the Mod Squad is a little group I've got going over at the middle school of students to help me organize our March for Babies team. You know, the March of Dimes has that. They used to call it Walk America, and they've changed the name to March for Babies. And we have a tradition at the middle school of having a team in the March for Babies every year. So when I found out we could get money back, I thought, well, yeah, you know, we can donate it to the March of Dimes in the name of our March for Babies team. So it's not only the Mod Squad that participates, my little group of people that help me organize the March of Dimes team. It's the whole student body and anybody who wants to. So we even have Mr. Curley, our assistant principal, going in this year. And about, I think we have about 47 other plungers. So there should be 48 of us running in. We're probably going to be the largest team there.
That's really awesome. How much money do the participants try to raise every year?
Well, the Kiwanis, in their generosity once again, if you raise $35 or more, you receive your own official, really nice long sleeve t-shirt that says, "I survived the Kiwanis Polar Bear Plunge." And then it has the year and the Polar Bear Plunge logo on it. So I always encourage everybody to at least shoot for the $35 so they get their t-shirt. But I just tell them, just remember, the more money you raise, the more money we can give back to the babies.
Yeah.
And so we don't set a dollar, you know, you must raise X number of dollars to participate in this event. It's whatever anybody can do.
So just every dollar counts, like no matter what, every penny.
Every dime.
Every dime.
Oh,
perfect.
Right. Every dime.
What is the goal for this year's plunge?
Well, the goal for this year's plunge, I don't have a dollar goal, but it would. In the past, we've been the #1 pledge raising team at the Polar Bear Plunge. A new team came in last year and just wiped us off, which was fine because they raised a lot of money. But it might be kind of fun to get back up there and maybe, you know, be the #1 pledge raising team again. I mean, we do have a history at the middle school of being the -- when it comes to raising money for the March of Dimes with our March for Babies team. So whatever. And you know, the bigger goal, I think the bigger picture is to get the kids involved.
Yeah.
And to get them involved doing some volunteer type thing and raising money for kids and just knowing how good that feels to be part of something big like that.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Does the goal ever change?
No, you know, that is my goal, and that will always be my goal, is to keep the kids involved and to raise as much money as we possibly can, and I never do set a dollar value on it. So, and to have a lot of fun. Of course, I teach health, and people think it's sort of backwards for the health teacher to be organizing a team for children to run into the freezing waters of Lake Huron. But it's all for good cause, and that's what I want the kids to know.
That's good. Is this event for everybody, or is this for only a specific group of people?
Everybody and anybody.
Really?
Everybody. Anybody can do the Polar Bear Plunge. There are teams from SE4. In the past, I remember seeing the Northern High School tennis team have the plunge. My husband has gotten a plunge team organized at our church. Our pastor is plunging. And I'm also a member of the Blue Water Parrot Head Club. They're plunging. So young, old, it doesn't matter. We all have to sign a waiver. So it doesn't matter. Anybody can do it. And you can go in as far as you want. You can stick your big toe in and be done. Or you can try to make it out to that first sandbar where the St. Clair County Sheriff Department Marine divers, they're stationed out on the first sandbar. And the thing is to go out as far as the sandbar, high five a diver, and then come back in.
Okay, that's
I've done
really
that a couple times. I'm over it now. Now I just go until my legs are numb. And then I decide I'm turning around and coming back. Anybody can participate.
Oh, okay. All right. That's awesome. That's good to know. Yeah. Has anybody already signed up to participate in this year's plunge?
We have got 48 plungers signed up and ready to go, and still people asking me yet today, even though the event is on Saturday, people are still asking. And I'm going to say, you can even show up on the day of the event, bring a check, made out to the Kiwanis for at least $35 to get your shirt, and they'll hook you up with the waiver and the envelope, and you can do it right there at the event. But we've all been working on it for several weeks and collecting money now.
Do you take like regular dollar bills right then and there also, not just checks?
Yeah, it can be regular cash in the envelope or just, here's a wad of cash. They'll write it down and make it official, and you're in.
Awesome.
You also receive a certificate, that says I survived the polar bear plunge, and you get a couple other little goodies. You get a little goodie bag, and they usually feed us something, like there's hot dogs, or one year there was pizza.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a big party atmosphere beforehand.
Oh, all right. That's nice to know too. Roughly how many people participate annually for this plunge?
Well, a few years, I think maybe last year was the biggest year I've ever seen. Usually, roughly, there's about 100 people who plunge and about 200 people who watch. so I'm not sure which one are the wiser. But this year, last year there was definitely more than 100 people who plunged, and I'm anticipating another big year this year because we have a really strong team this year, a much bigger team this year than we had last year. So I'm thinking there's going to be over 100 people who plunge. So there should be over 200 people who watch.
That's awesome. Is it rumored that people who participate in this event go in their bathing suits, or is this like?
Oh no, that's true.
Is
that's
it?
True.
Wow.
The less you wear, the better. As brutal as that sounds. So everybody stands around on the beach all bundled up in their coats and their hats and their boots, and then the official with the megaphone at about 10 minutes to noon says, all right, 10 minutes to go. So we're just like, start taking off the jackets and the snow pants and the boots and getting yourself down into whatever you're running in with, because the less you wear, the better. I mean, if you're fully clothed and you run in and you get all those clothes wet and cold.
That's true. That's very true.
When you come out, you're going to be chilled to the bone. So the less you wear, the better. So bathing suits. My husband puts on a costume every year. I wear shorts and a long sleeve t-shirt because I don't plan on going any higher than my shorts are long. And then, of course, everybody needs to have a blanket buddy waiting on shore. Mm-hmm. So you run right to your blanket buddy and get yourself all wrapped up nice and warm and head back to the car and go home and get warm.
There you go. Are refreshments provided after the event has taken place?
If anybody wants to hang around, the Salvation Army is still there with coffee and hot cocoa. But like I said, most of the refreshments and everything go on before the event itself. But yeah, if there's extras, they'll still be there afterwards.
Oh, okay. Is it possible to raise money but not participate in this event itself? If so, how do the donations get to you?
We have some kids who thought they were going to be able to participate, and as it turns out, something has come up, but they still want to raise the money. Mm-hmm. So my students will get me the money, bring it to me at school on Friday, or they can bring it to me after the event. I can still turn it in. So that doesn't matter. I can't collect a t-shirt for them or anything because they actually didn't do the plunge. And I have somebody who has gotten sick, so her mom won't let her plunge, but she still wants to come. So she's still going to come to the beach, turn in her money, even though she can't run in the water because she's sick.
Oh, that's inspiring.
So there's always a way to get that money turned in and tallied towards our team.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Pishat, for coming and talking to us about the Polar Bear Plunge. This is M6 on Student Connections, and we'll be right back after this.
One in 3 adults age 65 or older will fall each year, and 2/3 of these people will fall again within the following 6 months. Environmental factors such as stairs, rugs, and poor lighting can affect mobility in your home. The most common injuries from falls are fractures of the spine, hip, forearm, leg, ankle, pelvis, upper arm, and hand. 1/4 of seniors who fracture a hip from a fall will die within 6 months of the injury. Take the precautions and make your home safer by improving the lighting, installing railings by all stairs, and reducing tripping hazards by using rugs. Be sure to exercise regularly and eat healthy. For more information, go to www.cdc.gov and search Home and Recreational Safety.
You may be eligible for a credit on your electric bill if you experience lengthy or frequent service outages. To request the $25 credit, contact your electricity provider. For more information about the credit and tips for surviving power outages, call the Michigan Public Service Commission at 1-800-292-9555 or visit their website at michigan.gov/MPSC and click on Consumer Information. A public service message from the Michigan Public Service Commission.
I hope you enjoyed our show today. Join us again next time for more interesting people and programs in our community. I'm Wayne Height for M6, your hometown station. See you next time.